Well, wouldn't you know it, my price chopper had a sale I couldn't refuse. I wasn't planning on making chili today, but they had a big sale of stuff that combines together to make a good chili. So what they had was 97% lean ground beef at $4.99 a pound. So I got 3 pounds of that. Then my canned goods, they had diced tomatoes and beans, all on sale for 19 cents a can. That's my 6 cans of diced tomatoes and 3 cans of red beans. I got some extra. I went to my max, but we only need 3 cans of those. So those were all 19 cents each with the coupon. Then we got a nice large yellow onion. And the bell peppers were on sale. The colored ones for 99 cents each. I don't know if that's a great bargain, but it's cheaper than what it normally is. So I got 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 orange. So we're going to have to get cooking and make us up a huge pot of chili and freeze dry some and eat some. First thing I'm going to do is get this ground beef brown. So let's just get that dumped in the pot there. Get that starting to cooking. While that's browning up, I'm going to go ahead and take care of my peppers, get them washed and diced. And my onion, I'm going to get that diced. So we'll see you once that ground beef is all browned up. Okay, that's nice and brown. No fat in there at all, really. So here's my 3 bell peppers that I chopped up. I'm going to add that to my skillet. And my huge onion that I chopped. We're going to add that to the skillet. We're just going to saute those for about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and cover that. Now, I went ahead and grabbed another can of those beans, so we're going to use a total of 4 cans of beans. What I'm going to do is take these over to the sink. I'm going to open them up and rinse them. So I'll come back once these are rinsed and those onions are nice and sauteed. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so we got that meat all browned up. I went ahead and threw in my onions and my peppers and sauteed them for a little bit here. And I went ahead and dug out 1 more can of beans for a total of 4 cans of beans, just because I had them and I want to make sure I got plenty of chili and for leftovers and freeze drying. So what I did is I took those 4 cans of beans over to the sink. I drained them and rinsed them, and they are draining right now. My onions are starting to get translucent, which is okay. I've had this simmering for about, well, I've had a medium high actually, for about 5 minutes, just to kind of get a start on those onions, get that infused into the ground beef here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear off the table. Then I'm going to set this aside and we're going to get out my slow cooker. So I'll be right back. We are now ready to put this together. So I'm going to go ahead and take my cooked ground beef and sauteed onions and peppers. Put it in the crock pot. Now we got our 4 cans of rinsed and drained beans. Go ahead and add that to the crock pot. Now, let's get our diced tomatoes. 6 cans of diced tomatoes. And I got the roasted garlic and onion ones, but you can use whatever kind you like. And these are 14.5-ounce cans. We're going to be dumping these, juice and all, right into the crock pot. Give that a little bit of a mix. Oh man, it is looking good. It's looking good, let me tell you. All right. Now, let's get my chili powder out and let's make it chili. I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of chili powder. And I'm using dark chili powder. Then we're going to take 1 tablespoon of cumin and add that. Then we're going to put 1 tablespoon of garlic powder in there. 1 teaspoon of salt. Oh, I forgot my tomato paste. I got a 6-ounce can of tomato paste. We're going to add that because that is going to add a little bit of depth to our sauce. Let's get that in there. Mustn't forget that. Alright. Now this other stuff is optional. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of brown sugar in there. A couple of tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And everybody talks about it. I've never tried it before, but apparently it adds a nice depth to your chili. Put some cocoa powder in there. So I am going to put 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder in there. Apparently you don't taste the cocoa, but it just adds a nice depth to it. So we're going to try it. Alright, let's get that all mixed up. Now I got some cumin, I got some cayenne pepper here and some beef bouillon powder. But I kind of want to get a taste of this before I add that. That's good. I'm going to put just a teaspoon of this beef bouillon powder in there. And half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I like my chili hot. Not too hot, but also, like I say, that's optional. I'm just going to put a half a teaspoon in there. There you have it. There's a basic chili. We're going to put that on low for about 6 or 8 hours. And while I was frying up that hamburger, I went through my shopping list here and added everything up that we put into that chili, not including my seasoning and all that. And it came up to $22.24 plus tax, whatever the tax was. That's before tax. So for $22, we got a big pot of chili. Let's hope it tastes good. All right. I got nothing to do but wash all those dishes I just dirtied up and wait 6 hours. So I'll see you in 6 hours. All right. We let that cook for about 7 hours on the low. So let's get this trayed up. And I did have a little taste of this and it tastes nice. So we're going to shoot for 2.5 pounds on the tray because I have a medium freeze dryer with 4 slots, and that is the recommended weight per tray, 2.5 pounds. Alright, let's put our dividers in there. We divide them up into 10 squares. And I'm going to get the other 2 trays done off camera, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got these full. They're far too hot to put in the freezer right now. So what I'm going to do is let them cool down to room temperature. Then we'll get them in the freezer, get them frozen solid, and next time you see it, they'll be coming out of the freeze dryer. I am also going to run 1 tray of cornbread cracker squares. I'll leave a link to the video that I did on these a year or so ago, because it'll be the same process, so that we can have those with cornbread. Sounds good. My mouth is really watering. Oh, I've got tons of chili left over, which is what I wanted. I'm going to get a nice big bowl of that. Put some crackers in that. It's halftime for the Broncos, and who they playing in the playoffs today? Buffalo. So it's a playoff, so I'm halftime. Time this all perfect, so I'm going to have me a bowl of chili and we'll get back to the game. Let's see what it tastes like fresh. Ooh, hot. Not spicy hot. Hot from the crock pot. That is a delicious chili. What did we say? $22 or something like that. All that chili. Can't go wrong. Alright. So we'll see you when this comes out of the freeze dryer, and wish my Broncos luck. And here we go. 40 hours. That is beautiful and dry. It's just broken up in nice little squares. And my cornbread squares that I didn't record. Again, I'll put a link to the old video of me making these. A separate one, but you know, let's get these bagged up first. What I want to do is include 4 of these squares, cornbread crackers, in each pouch. And that just works out perfect with the quantity, because there's 40 squares. Let me get these bagged up and I'll be right back. Alright, got those bagged up quick enough. You'll notice I use sandwich bags, the kind without a Ziploc. That way when we put this in our bag of chili in our meal pouch, the O2 absorber will work on these cornbread squares as well. 3 squares of chili. Gentle crumble, and toss in a bag of cornbread. So let me get the rest of this packaged up real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, got those all packaged up. Now I'm going to take my 300cc O2 absorbers. One of these in each pouch, just like that, and make sure nothing's interfering with my zip. And just zip these shut. Easy peasy. I'm gonna get these done off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, they're all zipped shut and Got the O2 absorber, the chili, and the cornbread in there. Let's get my sealer turned on. I put it on about 125 for my 7 mil bags. Let that heat up, and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Heat it up. So let's crimp this up. I watch for that to just melt along the edge there. I know it's sealed. That's all there is to that. All right, so now let's turn that off. We'll let that cool down. We'll leave these sitting out for a day or two just to make sure everything stays sealed and nice. I ain't really got I've never had no problems with it. And next time you see me, we'll be coming back and we'll be eating one of these for lunch or dinner. I'll see you then. All right, it is the next day, next evening, I'm ready to have dinner. So let's try some of my chili. All right, as we got inside there, it was all crammed in there very well. My O2 absorber done its job. My croutons, crackers, and my chili. Let's take 3 squares, 3/4 of a cup of hot water straight from my Keurig. Pour that in over that delicious chili. There we go. That's 3/4 of a cup. Zip that shut. Get my handy dandy timer. And we'll let that sit for 2 minutes. I'll see you in 2 minutes. All right, there we go. There's the first one. That's been 2 minutes. Let's give that a nice stir. Oh man, that was looking good. Nice and thick in there. Zip that back up shut again. And we'll let that go for another 2 minutes. Perfecto. So that's been a total of 4 minutes. Come on. Give that one more quick stir for you. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Now we could eat this straight from the pouch, but for the videos I like to dish it up. Look at that nice thick chili. Does that look good? You know it does. I know it's gonna fill my belly. Let me get a close up of that and I'll be right back. All right, let's dig in. I just garnished that with a little bit of cheese for the photo. My mouth is watering. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh man, that's so good. Oh yeah. Cornbread and chili just go together, you know. Such an easy meal to put together, especially when everything was on sale. I mean, the beans and the tomatoes were 19 cents a can. That's been a long time since we've seen canned food for 19 cents a can. A very, very cost-effective way to put away 10 meals for your long-term food storage. And bean-wise, I find that kidney beans are very slow to come back to rehydrate. That's because of the thick skin on a kidney bean. This time I used red beans and they have come back perfectly. So for your future references, if you want to use beans in anything, try some red beans because they come back beautifully. I am going to enjoy this off camera. You're going to love this chili. Not only because it was just so easy to make, it's just packed with flavor. So, I'm going to finish this off camera. I thank you for watching, and tell your friends out there about John and Bibbs so we can grow this channel. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.